Hey again, it's Tweed. Hey, look at my beautiful hair. I've been working outside. Um, so I just finished doing my taxes, and I figured would be a good time to share my last will and question mark testament because I don't really testify to anything here, nor do I really will anything. But I wrote this because I think general wills are crap. Also, I don't really have anything except for a house and a car and, all this random crap like these guitars and books. But who wants that stuff, right? Um, but yeah, the only things certain are death and taxes. So just did my taxes. Now we'll talk about my death. Um, so this will, if you want a copy of your own, I published this book several months ago. It is about 400 pages of my personal journals, and the will is in there. Actually, you can't get this book right now because I temporarily made it unavailable. But if you really want one, you can message me and I can figure out a way to get you one. I might make them available down the road, but I wanted to focus on the Rockstar Nobody stuff, so that's that. Um, let me see. There is before I get started here, I wrote this at a really dark time in my life. Was going through a lot of depression. I mean, I always am. And, my wife had just abandoned me. So, okay. And I made an amendment in here. So I'm going to have to I through H. H. I. Okay. I'll figure it out as I go. Anyway, so let me read this. The executor and beneficiary of this will shall be the first person to complete the first of my last wishes. Number 1. What to do with my body. Subsection A. Within 48 hours of my death or discovery, take me to a wilderness area over 3,000 feet and allow the wildlife to consume me, if this doesn't already happen naturally. Subsection B. If for some reason this is absolutely impossible, hide or bury my body where you think nobody will find it. C. The first option would be nice if it didn't have to be secret. If it does have to be in secret, try to be creative. D. If at the time of my death or disappearance I somehow have an estate that is worth anything, try to make this like a competitive reality TV show. LOL. E. If LOL isn't a thing anymore, change that last bit to whatever is relevant today. F. If B is completed, try to hide me where the critters can get to me for 2 years, then advise the world where I can be found. G. On second thought, try to make it a competition to see who can hide my body for 2 years. H. My animals have to go to better homes than they have now. Number 2. That is my only last/first wish. If you are the lucky contestant executor, parentheses, contextuant, that's what I refer to it as from now on, you stand to win all of these great prizes to do with what you will. Sell them, destroy them, publish them, take credit for the work yourself, seriously, whatever. All of the rights and royalties to all of my songwriting, published and unpublished, probably about 200 songs in all, fully or partially credited. All of my master files. This is everything on my computers, hard drives, devices, and USB drives. Basically everything you see on the wall in my shadow boxes and more. My shadow boxes have pictures of all of the albums I've produced. This includes AC Miles, The Suppressors, DB and the Struggle, Suicide Lounge, Chris Plays Guitar, The Walls Instead. It's my whole life's work as a producer and musician. Do me a favor though. Give Nate Butler his masters. All of my writing, published and not. There are 3 or 4 part-finished books on my drives or cloud. I think the most interesting stuff in there is in my notebooks, but there's about 1,000 more pages than that. There are there are about a dozen of them, 80 to 120 pages of mixed ramblings, recipes, song ideas, band ideas, business ideas, notes as I went through my life, to-do lists, shopping lists, things I was learning at the time. Secondary to that are all of my Google Docs, which are typically more developed versions of the notebook ramblings. All of my video files, music videos, YouTube, trash, how-tos, I don't even remember half of them. You also get ownership of California Arcade Museum. The name, concept, art, and business plan. Create, sell, or destroy it. I suggest franchising. The California Arcade Museum is a plan I made for after-school business, after-school nonprofit for kids set in a 1980s style arcade to teach them things like game design, music, carpentry, everything that goes with arcade machines. Ninjanuity, name, concept, and portfolio. Ninjanuity is my graphic and web design company. The Walls Instead, music, book, teleplay, anything published or unpublished under the Rockstar Nobody title. The Yet Unnamed Well-Being Center, name, concept, and outline. If it exists in a physical form, you get that too. I'm going to talk about these nonprofits down the road. I've already said that in these videos. So if you're lost at what this well-being center or whatever is, we'll get to that someday. Any other intellectual property you can think of. I don't have much physical property. Guitars and amps, a bunch of books, some tools. If you don't want them, try to give them to someone in need who could benefit from them. Number 3, I just added I through H, and I'm amending it to be the most important task of the contextuant. All pets, or animals I otherwise care for must go to a better home than what I have been able to give them. You can't kill any of them because they are old or assholes or inconvenient. This includes the roosters. The definition of better homes will be determined by a panel of 9 judges who will receive the password from me via email before or after my death. You don't have to take the animals yourself, but you can't dump them at a shelter or allow any government agency to seize them. Some of them would probably like to stay together, others not so much. Consult with the people who know them and get to know them yourself. And I'll just say right now, the girls, Mizu and Lena, have to stay together. Charlie, who's sitting behind me right now, he likes the pack too. Yoshi, he's not in here. Yoshi could care less about being around other dogs. He wants people. So, that's that. The hens probably should stay together. Anyway. You're going to have to talk to somebody who knows the animals or whatever if, you end up being the person in charge of that when I die. Continuing. Even if you find them all great homes, you still have to try to hide my body. Okay? All right. Number 4, if I am married and things like a life insurance policy exist, obviously my spouse gets that. If we are not estranged or separated, go ahead and let her keep the house, furniture, gardens, etc. without a fight. I'll just let you know, as of the recording of this, April 15th, 2021, I am separated, going through a divorce. So as of right now, that one does not apply. Give Todd something special and important. If I have other kids, same for them. Real, adopted, foster, all count the same. Give Josh, my brother, something cool to remember me by. Maybe one of my Fender guitars or my number 1 katana. That's the red one. It's behind me on the rack. Nobody else in my family is entitled to anything by birthright or blood, though they may be eligible to be a contextuant. In all likelihood, Josh would be the person to actually do this, so look to him first. He also knows my relationships with friends, family, and pets best. Honestly, I don't think he would be the one to hide my body or feed it to the animals. I wish he would, but I just don't think he cares enough. So I'm leaving that up to you, dear viewer, dear contextuant. 2-2. I'm going to leave a few pages for more shit you might want when I die. And here's a list of some of them. My martial arts systems, mostly on the cloud or laptop. Full Aikido teaching curriculum, Aikido Kinjutsu curriculum, full samurai school program, which I've called the Uma Dojo. Several minor systems, including cane fighting, gun and knife conflict, training regimens, diets, etc. Probably enough to publish several books if you can get someone to do photos and video with you. I never could. So yeah, I've fully written out curriculums for several martial arts systems, but as of right now, they have remained private. Oh, this is the best one right here. The contextuant here gets the name, image, and likeness of Tweed Jefferson and Suitcase Jefferson, which that would be me. You get my likeness and image and name. You could do whatever you want with it. You can call yourself Tweed Jefferson, or you could sell me to the movies, or, a porn actor or something. I don't really give a shit. I'm dead. You also get the rights, royalties, and executive decision making when it comes to my biography or life story. And there is a caveat to this. I'm not sure where it is, but after I watched the movie My Friend Dahmer, I did put a caveat in there about if anyone from my past, like high school or whatever, comes up and wants to sell some kind of story of me, just be advised, none of those people know shit about me. I was never close to anyone ever in my life, really. I mean, I've had a few friends, but nobody I would ever trust to make a story about me. So, FYI. Number 5. If you kill me without my permission, you are disqualified. If you kill me with my permission, you will probably be the rightful contextuant. There's a password for that. The password is written in my handwriting with an explanation of where to find the story of why I created the password. Confusing enough for you? Yeah. So I have a password hidden somewhere, and I also have a story about that password hidden somewhere. You need to have both in order to kill me on purpose and still be able to win. The following people have demonstrated they are incapable of doing the right thing, so they are preemptively and permanently disqualified. Becky Carey, Amber Beresh, Schweitzer, Feuerstein, Schmallinger, whatever the fuck her last name might be this month, or whenever she gets married for the 76th time. That's my baby's mama, by the way, and she gets nothing, because fuck her. Tim Pugsley, Mark Randall, and Art Farkas of Q-Pop Radio. Fame. It's a local band that stabbed me in the back, so they get nothing. Brad Marsubian, any of his family or associates. This is a guy I worked for 12 years after knowing him for 35 years, who screwed me out of $20,000 of getting paid, so he gets nothing. Chris Pino Lavanino. Carlos D.B. Montano, Adam A.C. Miles, and basically anyone I made albums for that didn't pay or backstabbed me. That'd be most of them, by the way, except Nate didn't have to pay me. I told him he didn't have to pay me, so Nate gets his masters, and he's allowed to compete. Although, I don't think Nate would try to hide my body. Anyone who has ever been employed by anyone who is or has ever been employed by community medical providers, their parent or subsidy companies, or American Ambulance. Anyone who is or has ever been employed by the City of Fresno, County of Fresno, or County of Madera. So I don't know if I need to go into full explanation of that, but let's just say that these are all very shady, bad companies who trade on the lie of helping the public, but actually don't. So, and you can say, oh, well, not all employees of community medical providers are bad. Well, that's like saying not all cops are bad. Let's just say they fit the profile, as the cops like to say. Some of these people might try to claim rights to some of my work. Don't believe them. The majority of them stole my time, money, or both from me. I would rather my work be destroyed than see them try to use me one more time. This is specifically referring to the people who I produced albums for, or any of that, who might want to claim ownership of the album. Um, if you know anything about um, the way music royalties and rights work, I'm the producer, so I technically own the masters unless I release them, which I have not. I know I can't see them, but don't be a fucker. These people are shit. Don't give them anything. I don't even know who I'm talking about there, but I guess if anyone's a shit, then they shouldn't get anything if you're the executor. I mean, if you're the executor, keep it all for yourself, and see if you can profit from my life. And, if not, try to donate it to causes. Number 6, my wife has my passwords to all of my accounts. They are also saved in the primary Chrome account on my studio computer and in my phone. Whoops. So don't go steal my computer. It doesn't matter. I can mobily lock all my shit anyway. So, unless I die, if something disappears, you're getting locked out. Oh, except for this part. My right index or middle fingerprint will work when I'm dead, provided my skin is not saturated or has not been elasticized. And then I write, okay, I'm tired now. I will finish tomorrow. And then I never came back to it. But really, I mean, that about covers it all right there, So this is the Tweed Jefferson Death Game Show. I also added one more amendment on 3/6/2021. Rights to my books and music will be held in trust by Todd Lennon Schweitzer. Ownership will default to him in the event that my final wishes are not carried out. He will be responsible for the bequeathment of gifts as stated in the original will, and shall retain 15% of royalties for the extent of their lifetime. So, that's my son, and he's going to get a kickback of, however long it takes for somebody to complete my wishes. If you rehome my animals or keep them and give them a good home and feed my body to the animals, and I guess don't feed my body to my own animals, feed them to the wild animals. But if you do all that, then you don't have to wait 2 years to get all the royalties and rights and publishing and all that kind of stuff. But if it ends up being the kind of thing where someone has to hide my body for 2 years, then he'll sit on that and make the money on it, and hopefully you'll give him some royalties after all that's over with. I mean, I'm not gonna make you because I'll be dead, but do the right thing, I guess. So anyway, this has been Tweed Jefferson with my last will and testament, and I'll be signing off for today. I think I'm gonna go eat junk food and take a nap. So you guys be well, and I'll talk with you soon. Peace and love.